welcome to Mondays with Mira. I'm Dr. Mira Reisberg, total children's picture book fanatic. I love them. And I also teach about children's picture books, and this is one of my teaching videos where we have a look, have a read, and then we talk about how it works and why it's so successful in books that I love. Here's one. Bootsie Barker Bites. Okay, check out that alliteration. This is an older book, but it's still a goodie. And it's by Barbara Bottner and illustrated by Peggy Rathman, who I had the honor to be on a panel with one time. Bootsie Barker Bites. Okay, so, let's see if I can keep it straight and still. My mother and Bootsie Barker's mother are best friends. When Mrs. Barker comes to visit, she always brings chocolate donuts, fresh strawberries, and Bootsie. First we have a tea party. Then my mother tells Bootsie and me to play in my room. I try to get Bootsie interested in my books about turtles, but Bootsie hates turtles. You're a turtle house, Bootsie, and I'm a turtle-eating dinosaur. My mother calls, "Play nicely, girls." Bootsie yells, "We are." I can't yell anything. It's time for the Barkers to go home. "We'll be back tomorrow," says Mrs. Barker cheerfully. I tell my mother I don't like playing with Bootsie Barker. My mother tells me I have to learn to get along with all kinds of people. I go to bed and dream that Mrs. Barker moves far away and takes Bootsie with her. But Mrs. Barker and Bootsie never go anywhere except the park, the grocery store, and our house. "It's so nice you girls can be friends," says Mrs. Barker, as Bootsie leads me to my room. I let Bootsie look at my pet salamander, Charlene, but Bootsie hates salamanders. "You're a salamander," screams Bootsie, "and I'm a salamander-eating dinosaur." Mrs. Barker knocks on the bedroom door. "It's time for Bootsie to go home. Tomorrow," says Bootsie, "you get to be a worm." That night I dream that Bootsie accidentally falls off the edge of the world. I try to save her, but it's too late. In the morning, my mother says she has a wonderful surprise. Bootsie will be staying overnight at our house while her parents are in Chicago. I picture Charlene and me being rushed to the hospital with dinosaur bites. When my mother asks me what Bootsie and I would like for snacks, I can't stand it anymore. "Bootsie Barker is a dinosaur," I shout, "and she's planning to eat me alive." My mother looks surprised. "Sweetheart," she says, "tell Bootsie you don't want to play that game." I go to my room to think it over. Charlene and I spend the morning inventing a new game. The doorbell rings. It's the Barkers dropping off Bootsie, the dinosaur. "Hello, little worm," says Bootsie. I stand up and look Bootsie in the eye. "Pardon me, Bootsie, I am not a worm. I am a paleontologist. Do you know what they do? They hunt for dinosaur bones. Would you like to play?" Bootsie runs out the front door. She wants to go with her parents. Mrs. Barker says Bootsie will have more fun at our house. Bootsie throws a tantrum on the sidewalk. So Bootsie's parents take Bootsie to Chicago, which means I don't have to wish Bootsie takes a rocket to outer space. Although if she does, it's fine with me. Okay, what's so great about this book? It's about bullies and standing up to them. It's about the language, the alliteration, and big time, the page turns. It's really fabulous the way the illustrations and the text work together, because the text, it tells us, it lists off these things that Mrs. Barker brings: chocolate donuts, fresh strawberries, and Bootsie. Now that could be read many ways, but when we read it with the illustration, we know it's not necessarily a good thing. And this establishes our problem in the beginning. and makes us want to turn the page and find out more about Bootsie. And we find out that Bootsie is a real bully here, but Bootsie hates turtles. So what's going to come next? You're a turtle, how's Bootsie? And I'm a turtle-eating dinosaur. It's like, it really sets us up that we want to turn the page and find out next. Here's another really great page turner. But and this one is a prediction. That's another thing that kids learn in school, is how to predict what's going to come next. And with a good plot-driven story like this is, a kid will be able to predict certain things. Like here, but Mrs. Barker and Bootsie never go anywhere except the park, the grocery store, and we know what's coming next. And our house. There we go. Right away we're at our house. There's wonderful use of language. I let Betsy look at my pet salamander, Charlene. So pet salamander, Charlene. So it's not alliteration. It's not pet salamander, Sophie, or Sophia, or Susie, or that. It's Charlene. And Charlene, it sounds so lovely on the tongue. And that's what you want to do with your language. You want it to be really lovely on the tongue. So I think this is a really terrific book. And then the other part that I love about this is that bullies are often cowards. And so if a kid stands up to a bully with equal conviction, I stand up and look Bootsie in the eye. Pardon me, Bootsie. I am not a worm. I am a paleontologist. Do you know what they do? They hunt for dinosaur bones. Would you like to play? And so this scares the bejesus out of Bootsie, who runs away and doesn't want to stay and play because she's no longer in the dominant position. And the other thing I love is it doesn't, end with the little girl whose name we never learn. It doesn't end with her doing something heroic and saving Bootsie. She still doesn't like Bootsie. But she's able to handle Bootsie now. And it's not like you have to like every single kid. I mean, it helps if you do. But this has just got a wonderful twist of like, she doesn't have to wish that a space rocket takes her far away that day. Although it's fine if she does. And here we see Bootsie getting her comeuppance on the moon. So a lovely story, and very, very timely, even though this was written in a long time ago. Here, glasses moment. 1992. And right now, I mean, they should bring this book back because it's very timely for contemporary audiences. And there's a huge interest in publishing on books about bullying because it's really reached epidemic proportions, and it's a huge issue in schools with kids killing themselves over being bullied. So that's it for today. I want to say thank you, Barbara Bottner and Peggy Rathman, for this wonderful book. And thank you, everyone, for watching Mondays with Mira, my series of picture book teaching reviews.